Today is the beginning of the beginner class. So we can call the heading, what is meditation and types of meditations. To simply put, so that we can understand clearly what meditation is, we do exercise, go to gym, hike, weightlifting, aerobics, and so on. Okay. Which means we do physical exercises. And why do we do physical exercises? To keep the body strong, firm, healthy, and happy, and in harmony. So that's why we do physical exercise. In the same manner, if we want to keep our mind strong, firm, healthy, and happy, we need to do mental exercise. Mental exercise. And that mental exercise is called meditation. So, with that, we understand what meditation is and what is the purpose of meditation is. In meditation, there are, in general, two major types. One is called concentration meditation, or also known as fixed meditation. And another one is called insight meditation. In Pali, concentration meditation is called samatha, and insight meditation is called Vipassana. Those are two types. And this concentration meditation can be found anywhere and everywhere. Okay. In a very general form. Basically, it is concentrating your mind, harnessing your mind. The mind is not to wander away. In our life, there are many activities that we need to concentrate highly. As an example, you're painting, and your mind is totally focused on the object that you are painting and the painting itself and the choice of color. The mind doesn't go anywhere. In a way, you are doing concentration meditation. Your mind is concentrated on that. Your mind is harnessed so that it doesn't wander away. And there are many activities in life too. Okay, one of the person that I know mentioned that, well, that's your meditation. You know what my meditation is? I said, what? He said, fishing. Of course, he has a large boat, 30-foot boat, and goes every weekend, go away, alone mostly on his boat, and he just threw a line and then sit and watch. And my mind is totally focused when the baits will be taken in by the fish. I'm focusing. I'm concentrating. See? So there's no point to argue or say like that. Well, of course, if your mind is fixed on that, if you are not wandering and thinking, of course your mind is concentrated. So what I'm saying is, there are many activities in our lives, many people do, and it needs an intense concentration. And that can be also called concentration meditation in very general basis. But in a very precise, in a very precise technical term, they cannot be called concentration meditation. They are simply a tool that they can concentrate their mind. And in technical sense, what it is the mind is fixed on an object. Okay? The mind is fixed on an object. So I'm jumping several feet up and giving you this answer. And when your mind is very fixed on the object, at one point when you are totally concentrated, at that moment your mind has no greed or craving. Your mind has no anger, aversion, or dissatisfaction. And your mind at least knows whatever that single object that you are focusing on. So in other words, the mind is quite pure, relatively speaking, a lot purer than the other. So when you fix your mind upon an object, and when the mind becomes pure, then it can be called or termed as concentration meditation. But if your mind is still clinging or to or involved or engaged with, like fishing, okay, which is basically number one is there's hurting and harming involved. Number two, there's a greed, wanting involved. So it cannot be in a precise technical term, cannot be called concentration meditation. So that aspect one should be quite aware of it when we call meditation. The mind should become purer and purer in the process of meditation. And also, in general, what is this samatha or fixed meditation or concentration meditation? There's a certain requirements in it. First and foremost, they must have an object, a single object that one can focus and concentrate upon repeatedly on that object, okay? Without giving any attention to any other objects. You just observe that object again and again and again and again. So that is number one requirement, an object to observe. So in this choosing the objects too, okay, there are so many objects and so many variations. You can't even cover enough to talk about it. But in general, let's say a sound can be used. Let's say Om or Allah, such. Arahant, a sound. That sound you repeatedly said again and again and again, totally focus on it without giving any regards to any other objects. That is, one type of object can be sound. Another type of object is they call it kasina. Kasina is an object that you can look at. Okay? Simple example will be a yellow circle that you draw on a piece of cloth or on a wall. And then you just stare and gaze at that color. Okay? Yellow circle or yellow disc, and you observe again and again. So through objects that you can see, the other one is the object that you can hear. Those objects can be used. And also there's another one, they call it mandala. Mandala is your intricate nature of diagrams. It could be diagrams of different natures, it could be geometrical shapes, or it could be mathematical numbers, a certain way, a certain format, a certain order you have to put in. And you have to write these in or build these up. And it takes hours. And at that time, you have no awareness of anything except that. So that is called mandala. That's also a concentration meditation. The sound is called mantra. That's also concentration meditation. You look at the yellow colored disc, or red colored disc, or white colored disc, or actually an earth, okay, a clay made out of clay, a clay disc. You can carry it along with you anywhere, maybe about 7-8 inches in diameter, and you stare at that glass. Okay, that is also the what you call object of observation. Or you can look at a bowl of water, or a flame on a candle, and so on. Those are called kasina, object to look at, to stare at. And all these things are concentration meditation. And these kind of things can be found in every religion. Okay? Christianity has it, Islam has it, Hindu has it, Jainism has it, and even non-religious organizations like First Nation, they have their own style and method. They have it. So anywhere and everywhere, every religion, every race, every color, every creed have one type or the other of meditation. Concentration meditation. They might use various different technique and method, but they are all the same in principle. And Buddhists also have this concentration meditation. And the Buddha actually gave exactly 40 objects. Okay? In Buddhism, nothing is unwavering. It is very precise. He picked up 40 objects that we can use as an object to observe and concentrate upon. And that is a Buddhist meditation. That's for samatha, concentration meditation. So first of all, one must have an object. And secondly, if you look at all these objects, what it is they are all concept. They are all concept or piññāti. In other words, these are named, these are not ultimate truth, they are apparent truth. Okay? A clay disc can become a powder, and the powder could go into earth. Okay? The yellow disc can become shredded, the color can fade away, it change, it mutate, it change, it mutate, change, mutate. So all concentration meditation objects are concept or piññāti, or they are apparent truth. They are not ultimate truth. That is another point. And one must observe or fix your mind on it constantly so that the mind doesn't wander away to any direction or any other objects. And when you are meditating, when you get the momentum, when you get the skill, your mind becomes more and more pure, or less and less mental defilement of desires and hopes and aversion and anger. They become less and less. And another thing that we need to know about this concentration meditation is, okay, as we use a conceptual object, okay, and we observed, and what it is this is a conceptual object we observe and observe and observe, and eventually we try to become one with that object, so to speak, or we fused into that object. That is another aspect of it. That means that is the result that we are going in. We try to get absorbed into the object or fuse into the object and become one with the object, any way you like it. So first of all, this is the conceptual object. Let's say you are looking at an earth disk, okay, made out of clay, round about 8 inches in diameter, a brown color, and you observe and you observe and you observe. And what happened is, at one point, you observe so much, even if you close your eyes, you can still see that object. Before, you have to open your eye to see it, and slowly open and close and open and close, you can see it. And later, you can constantly close it, you can still see that object in your mind, as if you are looking at this with your own physical eyes. The shape, the size, the color, even the flaw, even a little ding, even a little chip in your mental image. Upeka nimitta. So, upeka nimitta. That mental image is, you can, with your eyes closed, you can see it. Like it is with you. Actually, that is not a real object. Even the earth disk itself is only an apparent reality. But now you have made it solid in your mind. You have made it permanent in your mind. And then you observe again and again and again. Both eyes open, close, and eventually it step up to another level, patipaga nimitta. What happens is you see that at this, but you see it in such a way that this is flawless and there is bright color, shining and bright and totally flawless. Before you see exactly as how it is with flaws, and next level is totally flawless. And that image is, you can close your eye and you can call it, recall it, it's right there, as if it is sitting right in front of you. So what does this concentration meditation does? It makes the just an object, which itself is not a ultimate reality, which itself is simply a conceptual object, okay, apparent reality. You make it into real. You make it into solid. You make it into permanent in your mind. So concentration meditation promotes permanency. It creates permanency into your mind. Some people meditate, okay, they try to breathe from different parts of the body. But let's put it one spot. They try to breathe through your head, like right to the top of the head, where the little babies they have at the beginning. That little thing is like moving right on the top. They breathe it through the head, in and out, and when they got to a certain level, that head has a big hole. Anytime and every time you go around have a hole. And if that person doesn't have a proper teacher, that one will go crazy. You know you are not supposed to have a hole, and there's a hole in your head, and the air is going in and out there. That kind of permanency and that kind of manifestation, they can create it. So that is another aspect of concentration meditation. it creates solidity, permanency, which means it increased and it promotes your ego. Your ego becomes bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. Those are the paths that concentration meditation leads to. And one thing is, along with it, once you advance farther into that meditation stages, your mind becomes calm, tranquil and serene. Very calm, very peaceful, like you have never experienced before. Calm, peaceful and tranquil. That's why this concentration meditation is also known as tranquility meditation, calm meditation, serenity meditation. They dubbed it with the result that they produce. But they are all one and the same. Fixed meditation, concentration meditation, tranquility meditation, calm meditation, serenity meditation. They are all one and the same. So that is the result or benefits of this concentration meditation. Your minds become very calm, very tranquil and serene. And also to a certain degree, when your mind is engaged in this meditation mode, your mind is pure from greed and anger, lobha and dosa, and a certain degree of moha, not all aspects. Okay. In a stricter sense, moha is not abandoned. So, and then we have to know what is the definition, of course. So these are the aspects that benefits that meditation, concentration meditation produce, samatha meditation. And then you don't hear quite often nowadays, but in the olden days that's quite common. From there you can step up with a certain technique and method and the right teacher. You can try to develop psychical power, reading minds, and then knowing a certain degree of a certain extent of the future, knowing the past, walk on water, walk on air, go through the mountains. Those kind of psychical or magical power one can develop. But nowadays we have so much science and advance. We don't have to practice about 3, 4, 5 decades to get this power. If we have some money, we can buy a plane ticket and fly in the air, get on a boat and on the water. So people don't give much attention to it anymore. But still, there's a little funny thing people still cling on to. If one can read a mind, oh, that is interesting. That's still always something to grasp upon. Reading the mind, and also fortune telling, like you can tell future, you can tell the past, that kind of a thing. And those things, some people are still attracted to it. And also curing disease, people are attracted to it. Whatever that is directly beneficial without the aid of the money, that what money can buy. If you cannot buy with the money, they are still interested. So that is another or the highest level you can go. And also, if you want to go the whole spectrum, when people practice this kind of samatha meditation with the foundation of sila, precepts and morality, what one can do is they can be reborn. They can be reborn in the lower level of meditation, in the human world and in the Deva world. But it must be, the key thing is dana and sila, charity, generosity, sharing, and morality. Those two, if you're endowed with a little degree of meditation, you can be reborn in a human world or the Deva realm, or in other words, celestial realm or angels. But if you are in a very deep level of meditation, jhanic level, to the level of absorption, you become absorbed with the object that you're observing. Those people will and can be reborn in the Brahmin world. Brahmin world is a world in which they don't really have any use of the sense pleasure. Okay? The sense of sight, the sense of sound, the sense of smell. They don't care for it, they don't need it. But the celestial realm, the angels realm and the human realm, that's called sense pleasure realm. We communicate, connect and enjoy with the six senses. Over there in the Brahman realm, they only stay in a zone of rapture and bliss. They do not care and they have no need for the senses. So that is the extent what this concentration meditation can make you and then benefit out of. And it can be found in all religions, all race, all geographic areas of the world. And another one is called Vipassana, or insight meditation. That is exclusive to the Buddhists, because that meditation is discovered by the Buddha and he turned around and teach. And in here, just to start from square one, it doesn't concentrate only on one object. It concentrates on many objects. That's why it's called Vi. Vi means many or various. Pasana, you can say it, observation. You observe many objects. Look at it, we are observing what? Rising movement, falling movement, lifting movement, pushing movement, dropping movement. Okay. Thoughts, pain, pleasure, everything. Fantasy, anything that we hear, see, smell, taste, touch, anything that is happening at the present moment, it becomes the object of meditation. So that's what I mean by Vipassana, various objects, any and objects that you can consider, okay, whether it is animate or inanimate. Anything that pops out in front of you is a meditation object. That's one meaning of Vipassana. Another thing is, also when you're observing them, okay, observing them, you don't simply observe it. You observe it to know their true nature, through characteristics. Okay. In other words, you try to observe them so that you know their ultimate reality, the nature of the ultimate reality, or as it is, or the true nature. That is the thrust upon. What it means is, you try to observe in such a way you can experience the specific characteristics of everything that you observe and common characteristics of everything that you observe. These specific characteristics and common characteristics are not apparent reality, they are ultimate reality. Okay, we all know if you are looking at a matter or a physical material, the Buddhist way of defining is any physical material, any substance is combinations of four qualities. Okay. What are these qualities? One is hardness and softness. Another one is vibration. Another one is temperature, hot and cold. And then the fourth one is the cohesion or dispersion, quality of cohesion and dispersion. Every physical material, substance, with no exception, has these four qualities. They don't exist separately, they coexist all together. So when you're observing the physical or a matter, you observe in such a way so that you experience the quality. Okay, rising movement. When you're doing that, there's an abdomen. If you see abdomen, just acknowledge it. Abdomen is what this belly is, size and shape and form. It's apparent reality. But at the same time, you can sense the movement. You can feel the pressure. You can feel the stiffness. Those movement, pressure, and stiffness are ultimate reality. At the beginning, you see and you experience both. Acknowledge both. But when your concentration becomes stronger and stronger, this apparent reality starts to disappear. The form, the body start to disappear, and you will only experience the ultimate reality. In that way, you know you are progressing in this Vipassana insight. And at the same time, feelings and sensations. Okay, obviously what we know is pain, unpleasant sensation, but not necessarily only unpleasant. Unpleasant sensation, pleasant sensation, neutral sensation. Whenever they arise, you must observe them as it is. And then your mind, wandering mind, thinking mind, remembering mind, when they pops up, observe them as it is. Thinking, thinking, wandering, wandering, remembering, remembering. And sometime you experience these thoughts or awareness with some other qualities combined, such as anger. That means angry mind, happy, happy mind, sad, sad mind, that kind of qualities. So in general, we can call it emotions. So simply more than awareness, if you can find the emotions and other qualities along with it, you observe them too. Anger, sad, happy, and so on. So many. As it is. How do you observe? The moment you arise, you know them. As long as they are there, you know them. When they disappear, you know that they disappear. Once they disappear, there's nothing to observe. The next object will show up. You observe on that. So that is one. It has, number one, various objects to observe. Number two, while we are observing, it makes sure slowly and slowly that is the apparent reality. Okay? This apparent reality means common characteristics and specific characteristics. Hot, cold, hard, soft, those are specific characteristics of materiality and physicality and mentality. But there's another quality, it's called common characteristic. This is, with no exception, all object, physical or mental, has these three in common. One is they are always passing away. They have the nature of impermanence. They arise, passed away. They become and die. They are born and die. Another one is suffering. They have an unpleasant nature about it. Okay? Because they are always breaking down. Anything that breaks down, anything that you feel like you need to fix or you need to hold on, but still slip away. That's the nature of suffering. That's called dukkha. And the third one is called anatta. And we try to hold on to this body, this mind, all our experiences, we hold on. Things that we like, we really hold on tight. Things what you don't like, we really try to forget it, but still hard to forget it. You have no control over these things. You can't hold on to any of these things. Not being able to hold on, not being able to control them and put in a place where you want them. That is the nature of anatta, non-self. So self always try to create in such a way. The definition of self is there's a wants and I don't want, likes and dislikes. Self-interest, as soon as you say self-interest, there's always wants and do's and don't, wants and not want, desire and aversion. And as soon as you say selfless, okay, selfless and non-self, they are more or less the same. Selfless is no self-interest is there, no likes and dislikes there. It's simply doing it because this as a function and it benefits something, somehow, someone, some condition. That is the anatta. So these three characteristics, you observed these three characteristics. You don't force to see them, but you simply observe, and first and foremost, you will come to experience the specific characteristics, and at one point, these three common characteristics will unveil and you will know them. At that moment, what happened is, you have reached a stage of selflessness or non-self. When you have selflessness, what does it mean? You can let go of everything. You can do for others. You have no agenda for your personal benefit. But you might be a part of the group that benefits, that's fine. But you are not simply doing it for yourself. That is selflessness. That is non-self. Because you understand life. You understand the concept of self in a different way. Your attitude change, totally change. That is non-self. So these are the things that we are approaching in this Vipassana. Okay? This knowing the specific characteristics is through the mindfulness, Satipatthana, individually. And then we lean our minds, we incline our minds to see the disappearance of everything we observe. That gives into the channel of knowing the common or general characteristic, impermanence, suffering, and non-self. Some people just want to split hair. Okay, soul. Oh, why does soul? No soul. Okay, forget about no soul at this moment. Just understand self and non-self, or selfishness and selflessness. They are all overlapping. Start from there. At one point in your own meditation experience, you will see whether is there anything that's simply remote like a soul that you can hold on. Rather than thinking, figuring out, and debating, practice and experience it. So, overall, Vipassana is observing multi-objects, okay, with an intention of knowing the ultimate reality, uncovering and experiencing specific characteristics of mind and matter, and the common characteristics of mind and matter. Understanding through experience. In other words, Vipassana is about attaining wisdom, attaining insight, attaining true and correct understanding. That's what Vipassana, the objective, the goal is to understand as it really is. That is the objective, that is the goal. Of course, through many lectures to come, who will understand more and more detail about it. But today that will be sufficient for us to understand what meditation is and what type of meditation in general is to samatha and vipassana. And we have explained many different ways and means of how to do concentration. But vipassana is simple, straightforward. You must not choose any object that comes in front of you at the present moment. Be with it and see it through from the beginning to the end, from the birth to the death, and move on and move on and move on to see the specific characteristics and general characteristics which will bring about to the correct and true understanding of what self, what we call self is. And the previous understanding of self changed into non-self. Selfishness changed into selflessness. That change doesn't come from power and concentration. That change comes from the true understanding, the true insight, wisdom, pinya. So objective of vipassana is attaining wisdom, attaining insight. So that would be sufficient to understand what meditation is at this level. May all of you be able to practice Satipatthana, Vipassana, mindfulness, insight, meditation, and may you be able to attain the insights and wisdom of mind and matter, in other words, about self, as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Buddham pujemi. Dhammam pujemi. Sangham pujemi.